Today, I'll walk you through step by step how to create a subscriber group and import your contacts into MailerLite, one of the most popular email marketing platforms available for creators, small businesses, and online entrepreneurs who want a powerful tool without a steep learning curve. MailerLite has earned its reputation by combining a genuinely clean interface with a generous free plan and surprisingly sophisticated automation capabilities, which makes it an outstanding starting point whether you're building your very first newsletter audience or migrating over from another platform. If you find this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a tutorial, and let's get right into it. The first thing you need to understand before we touch a single button is how MailerLite thinks about your audience, because it works a little differently from some older email tools you might have used before. Rather than organizing contacts into rigid, separate lists, MailerLite uses something called groups. A group is essentially a label or a tag that you attach to subscribers so you can send highly targeted campaigns to specific segments of your audience. For example, you might have one group for your general newsletter readers and a completely separate group for people who downloaded a specific lead magnet. That way you're able to send each group the content that is most relevant to them specifically, which has a measurable impact on your open rates and click-through rates. Thinking in groups from the very beginning is one of the best habits you can build as an email marketer, so let's create your first one right now. Head over to the left-hand navigation menu inside MailerLite and click on Subscribers. This is your central hub for everything audience-related in the platform. Once you're on that page, look for the Groups tab near the top of the screen and click it. You'll see a button labeled Create Group. Click that and a small prompt will appear asking you to enter a name. Choose something descriptive and meaningful. Newsletter subscribers works well for a general list, while something more specific like lead magnet downloads or webinar registrants is better if you're building a targeted segment around a particular action. Good naming discipline here is genuinely worth the extra few seconds of thought, because once you have 10 or 15 groups running in parallel, you'll be very glad everything is labeled clearly. Type in your chosen name and click Save. Your group now exists and is ready to receive subscribers. Here's something important to register at this point. Creating the group doesn't automatically put anyone inside it. Think of it exactly like creating a folder on your computer. The folder exists, but you still need to move files into it. That's precisely what we're doing in the next step. MailerLite gives you a couple of flexible options for populating your new group with actual subscribers. If you're starting completely from scratch with no existing contacts at all, you can add people one at a time by returning to the Subscribers tab, clicking Add Subscriber, entering their email address and name manually, and selecting your new group from the drop-down menu that appears. That's perfectly fine for a handful of contacts, but the moment you have more than a few, the import method is far more efficient and much less tedious. To import existing contacts, stay on the Subscribers tab, click Add Subscriber, and this time choose either Import from CSV or Import from TXT, depending on how your data is saved. A CSV file, which stands for comma-separated values, is the standard export format from spreadsheet applications like Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, and virtually every email platform in existence will let you export your existing list in this format. If you're pulling contacts from a spreadsheet you've built yourself, make sure you have at minimum a column for email address and ideally a separate column for first name. Then export it as CSV and upload that file directly to MailerLite. The platform will then take you through a column mapping step where you tell it which column in your file corresponds to which contact field. For instance, column A maps to email and column B maps to first name. Take an extra moment here to double check those mappings carefully, because a mismatched column means subscribers could end up with their name stored in the email field or vice versa, and that creates broken personalization tags in every campaign you send them later. Once your columns are correctly assigned, you'll be prompted to select which group these contacts should be added to. Choose the group you just created, confirm the import, and MailerLite will process your file and populate your list. One thing that is essential to understand about importing contacts: only ever bring in people who have explicitly given you permission to email them. This is not simply a best practice recommendation. It is a legal requirement under regulations like GDPR in the European Union and CAN-SPAM in the United States. Importing purchased lists or scraping emails from the internet will damage your sender reputation with email providers, risk getting your MailerLite account suspended, and ultimately destroy the trust of the very audience you're working to build. Start with permission-based contacts and you'll be building something that compounds in value over time rather than decays. Once your import is finished, click back into the Groups tab and open the group you created. You should see all your newly added subscribers listed there, along with a quick health summary that flags any addresses MailerLite could not process. These are usually duplicates or malformed email addresses, and it's worth reviewing that list before moving on. And that's it. You've created a subscriber group in MailerLite and populated it with your first real contacts, which means you now have a properly organized email list ready for campaigns, automations, and everything else this platform has to offer. This foundation is truly everything in email marketing. Every campaign, every automation sequence, and every audience segment you refine in the future starts exactly here. A great next step from this point is to explore MailerLite's campaign builder and create your first broadcast, or dive into automations and set up a welcome email that fires automatically the moment someone new joins your group. Save this video so you can revisit these steps whenever you need them, and I'll see you in the next one.